Hey everybody, it's Lisa with Swifty Travels, and this weekend I am in East Tennessee in the Knoxville area. I am staying on the west side of Knoxville, and I have traveled during a heat wave. I have a thing, you know, besides wedding proposals, I have a thing for traveling the midsection of the country during terrible weather. Last time I was in Arkansas was like the polar vortex, cold, and now I'm in a heat wave. So on this trip, I'm going to be exploring some of the caves and caverns around the Knoxville area, and I'm going to be showing you some great places to eat. So come along. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Have you ever seen a place this adorable? With something by the name of Apple Cake Tea Room, I must check it out. Now this is in the community of Farragut of West Knoxville. So this little place is a family-owned business that's been here 38 years, and this is the only location here in Farragut in West Knoxville. This place is famous for the chicken salad, so she recommended the tea room medley, which is chicken salad, fruit, and banana nut bread with cream cheese. And they have a special sweet and spiced tea that's a specialty here that I'm going to try. But this isn't the most Instagrammable meal. I already took a taste. This is chicken salad. This is what they're famous for. This is the banana nut bread with cream cheese, chips, fruit. This is a bran muffin over here. This delicious drink is like a spicy cider. This place even gave a to-go cup of their specialty tea. It has a base of Constant Comet tea, if you're familiar with that flavor, and then they add their own spices. Now, I don't know why I love coffee, but for some reason iced tea gets me extra jittery. So I was gonna stop by a coffee shop today, but now I've got a supply of tea to caffeinate me through the afternoon. So I'm just gonna drop off this cake by my hotel because I'm staying super close, and then I'm gonna head to the Lost Sea Adventure, the largest underground lake in America. Check that out. It's about 50 miles southwest of Knoxville in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Folks are rolling in here. You do have to reserve a spot, a tour, once every hour. There's so many spots, so they suggest that you reserve them ahead of time. So I'm here for the 2 o'clock tour. It's very easy to find right off the road outside of Sweetwater, Tennessee. So here's the first thing when you come here, the main parking lot's right off the main road, and they make you think that it's handicapped if you come ahead, but here I drove right up to the front and there's all kinds of empty parking spaces, so I think everybody thinks that there's no more parking, so they park really far. So just drive on in. So they don't want you wearing backpacks in there. They said I could bring my backpack, but I had to wear it like on the front side of my body or on the side. I couldn't wear it on my back. Maybe they're talking about the boat ride. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and move my car and get one of those front spots and then kind of set down some of my stuff so I'm not carrying so much. So what I've read is this is the largest underground lake in the America, in the United States, and it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. And it was originally inhabited by the Cherokee Indians, and then in the Civil War times, there's evidence that they used that cave for mining for gunpowder. And then in the early 1900s, a boy actually discovered the lake that was in the cave. Before then, I think they had just known about the cave and didn't necessarily know that there was a lake. And the lake is large and it is not fully discovered. They don't actually know how big the lake is. So that's what I was able to read ahead of time. So I'll take the tour and see what else they tell me, and it'll be fun.
The tour starts out with a walk down this bright yellow tunnel. It's a man-made, easy access entrance to the cave, and we sit inside for a safety briefing to hear all the rules, and then we walk across the suspended walkway to see the most brilliant cave formation here at the Lost Sea Adventure. This is called the Cascade Formation. The tour included a display of a leaching vat that was used by Confederate soldiers to mine saltpeter, which is basically potassium nitrate, and it was used to manufacture gunpowder. Bat guano from the caves was used in this process. The activity by the soldiers in the cave made this a Civil War trail marker. The black writing on the cave walls has been confirmed to be authentic, dating back to 1863. The writing was inscribed using a Confederate torch. This cave also includes a majority of the world's natural anthodite, which is rare crystalline structures. Because of this feature, it is known as a U.S. Natural Landmark. It is one of only 8 lake-made caves in the entire world. Portions of this cave were used as a nuclear fallout shelter with enough food and supplies for 20,000 people. The original entrance was just a 36-inch hole in the side of the mountain. There was a 90-foot pit where bones were found of an ancient giant jaguar from the last ice age. It was about 500 pounds and 8 feet long, and the bones from this jaguar are now on display at the Natural History Museum in New York. Another interesting fact is in 1947, during the Prohibition years, there were 3 moonshine stills and 3 dance floors inside. The walk then continues through the cave with lots of interesting information and passes a waterfall and a stream. Then you head through this walkway until it opens up into this immense cave with a beautiful lake inside. This water is 98% pure water with only 2% minerals, calcium, and limestone. These fish are fed well, fed on every tour. So the whole tour took about an hour and a half. And it was very entertaining, and once you got down to the lake area, it totally gave me Pirates of the Caribbean vibes down there. The most interesting part was that a 13-year-old boy discovered it in 1905, and very, very brave, going down into this cave by himself, and then nobody believed him that he found, Peter cried wolf, I guess. And then they said something like 2 months later somebody went down there so he could try to prove it, but the water levels changed and so he couldn't show them the lake. And it wasn't until the 1960s that they decided to blast away the wall to find the lake. And he came down as a 75-year-old man to see that somebody finally believed him that there was a lake. So that was a very, very interesting story. So I'm going to walk around. There's a general store. They said there's a blacksmith. There's a few little things here to check out on the property. I'm going to walk around a little bit. Finally, there's a little breeze and a little cloud cover to cool things off a little bit. But this is definitely worth your time. This is a neat little place. Kids would absolutely love this. So I recommend checking it out. And it's just about a 45-minute drive from West Knoxville. So up there by the general store, there was also, it looked like a jewelry store, and there was an ice cream shop. They called it a sweet shop, but everybody was sitting outside on the rocking chairs eating ice cream. I didn't want to film them in their ice cream moment, but I saw a sign for a nature trail, so I definitely want to check it out. I'm not sure which way to go. There was not really a map, and it goes 2 different ways. So I'm going to just go for a little walk in the woods and enjoy that breeze. Interesting little car of some sort. I wonder if that used to go down into the cave or something. Looks like something they'd use for mining, but not sure about that. It didn't last too long on the nature trail. The humidity is the reason why I chose to go to the cavern in the first place today, to stay cool. So in cooler, less humid weather, it would probably be a great place to hike.
They did mention that the glass blower here is really good and that some of his work is in the White House for Christmas tree ornaments. So I'm gonna go in the shop and check out some of his work. It looks pretty amazing. And he supposedly does it here on site, but I didn't see him working out there today. I'm guessing it's a little too hot. I don't know why I thought that glass blower was going to be working outside. That's kind of silly. Yeah, he was in that little shop, and boy, his work is beautiful. And the lady in there paints everything. I didn't ask if they were a couple, but what a great operation. Very talented man. And I think they can custom make stuff if you go in and ask them, or maybe they can, you know, custom paint some of the items in there as well. So great stop. Lost the Adventure. Just outside of Knoxville, Tennessee.